YouTube. And now Twitch, you are up and going. And let's go ahead and get Facebook into this. So hopefully this is the right switch. Yes, I do. Thank you very much. And that should just about do it, I think. Okay, so Twitch and YouTube, welcome to the show. And as of right now, we've got some very quiet conditions for the time being. But even better news, and this is great for anybody who's doing stuff outdoors, we have got a big change coming up in that we have little, if anything, taking place in the way of rainfall for the next pretty much several days. Some chances of rain overnight, yes, but beyond that, there's really just not that much going on. And that, again, will hopefully not be a problem into the course of the next few days for out there. Now, there will be more chances of rain toward the weekend. That we can't avoid, and the pattern at this time is going to be one that's going to kind of circle back around to that potential of rainfall. But we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. Let me see here. Just readjust for Twitch to make certain everything's there. And I think we're about ready to get going if I've got everything timed right. So stand by, and here we go. All right. Looks like everything's working where it should be at this point in time. It is Monday. It is a brand new month. It is a brand new hurricane season. It is a whole bunch of things. It's actually the start of what we call meteorological summer today. We'll talk more about that if we can here coming up in just a little bit. If you're just joining us, it is time for Weather Overtime. This is our online video weather blog enabling you, the viewer, the participant, to give you an idea as to what's going on with the forecast. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. This is the News 12 studios. This is Studio A from around Broad Street, just at the eastern foot of Lookout Mountain, close to the St. Elmo neighborhood. And this is our online video weather blog enabling you to ask questions about what's going on with the weather. So thanks a lot for tuning in. We're on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. You can, again, contact us via these sites, or, again, you can catch me on any of these social media pages down here. We usually are on for about 15, 20 minutes, somewhere in there. If you're looking for something a little bit more exciting and jazzy and a little bit more kind of upbeat, this is about as exciting as it gets because of the fact that we're talking about weather and the forecast, and I really don't do the whole song and dance routine or shouting into the microphone while chasing tornadoes or anything like that. For those of you who are paying attention last week and who mentioned it, this, again, yes, I am wearing a coat because the fix-it for the air conditioning in the studio, I don't know the name of the firm who did it, but they did an excellent job, and it is rather on the brisk side in here. So wearing this, because the temperature in here is pretty well close to the 50s, or at least that's what it feels like anyway. So a little bit on the chilly side for tonight indoors, but we've got some changes taking place outdoors, and we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. I want to take a look and see what's going on radar right now, which does not allow for a lot of anything going on. The chances of rain pretty much gone across much of the area, and much of what we're looking at is crossing the state line from Tennessee into and around western North Carolina. There's just not that much going on out there. And for those of you who have never tuned in here before, this is the News 12 viewing area. Northwest Georgia, northeast Alabama, southeast Tennessee, including Hamilton County and Chattanooga, which is where we're coming to you from, and western North Carolina, back around the Cherokee County area. Rain is pretty much done for right now, but there is a potential of some more rainfall coming our way into overnight, and we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up here in just a little bit. Thanks a lot to News 12 viewer Susan from Fort Oglethorpe for a very nice view, very pastel, lightly colored view around that area of sunsets. Beautiful look at some of the colors there. and one of our weather poll questions of the day. If you've got our weather picture of the day, we'll get to the weather poll coming up here in just a little bit. If you've got pictures, we'd love to see what you're seeing. Go ahead and send those in to us. Email, social media, or again, go to our website, WDEF.com/photos, so you can take a look and see what everybody else has been submitting for the HEP heating weather window picture of the day. We did manage to pick up some more rain showers moving on through. Officially, that did not happen because the rain might have split up and gone around the airport area. Also, this number tends to reset at midnight, so we'll have to wait and see whether or not we actually did wind up with anything. Now, the rain over the last few days and the last couple of weeks, for that matter, has dropped us to a minor deficit for the month and down to 5 inches as opposed to 8.5, which is what we were at a couple of weeks ago. So we've gotten a decent amount of rainfall. It's helped to reduce the deficit, hasn't gotten rid of it entirely. So it would be nice, but we're not going to be seeing that anytime soon from what it looks like for right now. Heading out the door into the going out into the snackosphere tonight. If you're going to be doing anything to catch a late night nosh, it is going to be very mild, temperatures in the 60s and 70s, and also looking for the potential of maybe some more rain showers popping up from time to time. But beyond that, there's just really not that much to worry about as our chances of rain really start to kind of fall apart into the next couple of days. Downtown is looking quiet. View from our EPB fiber optics weather cam network, you're looking southwest, Lookout Mountain over here, and the Raccoon Mountain off in the distance there. Hopefully, and let me see if I can switch over the camera here real quick. This is going to be looking pretty neat into the next couple of days. All these cameras available on the EPB fiber optics weather cam network. This is kind of a neat little view. If you take a look over into and around the area, you're seeing Ruby Falls down here in the lower left, just above the banner, and then what's left of Sunset off onto the area above the horizon. Right here in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, this is 2 planets. This is Venus to the lower right and Jupiter to the upper left. In the next couple of days, they're going to get very, very close to each other. Not quite an occultation, as it's called, but if we have enough clear skies, we should be getting a very neat conjunction of 2 planets. That's decently rare. It happens. It just doesn't happen all that often. Everything has to be lined up properly, the Earth, the other planets, stuff like that. So neat little sky show going on here for tonight, and just clear enough to be able to actually see what's going on out there. Temperatures have not gone anywhere in the last couple of hours. Decently quiet on there, and numbers are comfortable. Fairly high humidity levels out across the area, but otherwise pretty typical for this time of the year. Pretty well been enjoying these temperatures because of the fact that we have been into June. We can get very much on the hot side, but that is not happening at this point, so that's some good news. We could easily be back into the 90s, even close to the triple digits. Not happening this time around, so good news here. Back in the high 60s to around the low 70s. Comfortable as we approach the 10 o'clock hour, but otherwise no major amounts of temperature problems out there for the time being. The severe weather threat has moved on. There are currently no watches in effect for any part of the News 12 viewing area as of about right before 10 o'clock Monday, and that includes all of the News 12 viewing area and beyond. There's still some severe thunderstorm watches back over to around close to the area of the Mid-South, and even more back into the high plain states. Western Kansas, Nebraska, eastern Colorado has some severe weather potential, but again, that's way out to the west and not really a threat for us. The threat for severe weather has also been curtailed. This dry air has been making its way into the area. So again, Mid-South, Little Rock, back toward Fort Smith and Fayetteville, that'll be the closest potential of severe weather tonight, and that will be basically falling apart as well. What's left of our latest storm system is dropping on through the area. and this is where we're going to continue to see the very dry conditions across much of the region for the next couple of days. As that drier air pushes on down, we've got a big dome of high pressure back over Hudson Bay, and that is bringing in a lot of dry air, and that is really going to be affecting our weather into the next couple of days. How much so? Well, the way this works, the green colors, that's the more humid laden air, that's the moisture rich air that you see here. But as we go into the next couple of days, notice that the drier, more neutral brown colors take over, and we start getting into some much more pleasant conditions, but only for the next few days. We'll be looking for the potential of even more possibility of rainfall. Yeah, I know it had to happen at some point in time, but that's where we're going to be seeing the best potential of rain coming our way later into this next week. Lows tonight, northeast parts of Alabama will be back in the low to mid 60s. Pretty typical for this time of the year. Same thing for northern Georgia, north central Georgia. You'll be back in the lower 60s, mid 60s for the rest of northwest Georgia. Western North Carolina, you'll be in the 50s, probably the lower 60s into around Cherokee County, western North Carolina. And again, southeast Tennessee, it's going to be cool, hopefully a little bit less cloudy, but there will be the potential again of some of that rain checking in from time to time. So comfortable jacket may not be a bad idea, and keep the umbrella handy for at least overnight. As we go into the early morning hours, there will be that potential of maybe some more scattered showers coming up, but really just not all that much. And whatever chance of rain we have for tomorrow morning, going into very, very early Tuesday morning, it looks like that's going to be it for the rainfall chances. Clouds, yes. But then into tomorrow morning, looks like we should be getting into some very pleasant conditions. Now, rain east of the area, northeast Georgia, western North Carolina, as that front finds that clash point between the dry air and the more moisture-rich air. But otherwise, numbers over the next couple of days should be dropping on the chances of precipitation, very close to normal according to the Climate Prediction Center. And even more potential of rainfall going to be going down to our south into the next few days, down toward the Gulf Coast, the Delta, and the desert Southwest and the Rio Grande Valley. That'll be the best potential of rainfall leaving the area, so we will not see too much of anything else. And we've done pretty good on rain. May was very good to us, so our deficit has been pretty well reduced to a fraction of what it could be for this time of the year. So definitely some good news where that is concerned. The more potential of rainfall we wind up with, the better off we are going to be, because of the fact that, again, we get less in the way of rainfall coming on through. Our drought situation really begins to kind of fire up out there, and that is where we really run into problems with, again, more potential drought and wildfire. Looking west on the Island Cove Marina and Resort camera, and again, all of our cameras available on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network page. Temperatures over the next few days, low to mid 80s. Whatever we have left in the way of rain for Tuesday morning, gone, and then the next best chance of rain will be coming up somewhere by about Saturday afternoon. So we do see that potential of rainfall returning to the area and then sticking around from the weekend into next Monday, World Ocean Day. It's World Ocean Month, by the way, so that is something to celebrate out there and to make certain we pay attention on what we can all do to protect our oceans, which supply us with oxygen and life and little things like that. But the good news for us, again, less in the way of rainfall, drying out by just a little bit. So we do see the potential of some nicer conditions out there into the next few days. So outdoor activities, vacation Bible school, day camps out there, outdoor athletic camps, graduation ceremonies, anything like that going on, looking a lot better, at least up until the weekend. And then it's going to be more of a problem with, again, outdoor activities going on there. So we'll be watching that very carefully into the next couple of days. Now, I want to mention this because, again, it is June the 1st, and that means Atlantic and Gulf and Caribbean hurricane season starts today. and it goes all the way through December the 1st, or into and ends, I should say, December the 1st. So good news starting things off, El Nino doing its job. According to the National Hurricane Center, tropical cyclone formation not expected during the next 7 days. There are some signs that there's going to be something disorganized forming in the Gulf, maybe moving over toward the loop current area. Again, if something forms, it's going to be pretty well a mess. So for right now, we'll not be seeing too much of a problem here and now. But at the first of the season, it's definitely time to make certain you're paying attention to what's going on out there. Now, looking a little farther afield down to the south, the Pacific starts its season on May the 15th. It starts earlier because broader expanse of waters, more warmer temperatures, more sooner. It's a little bit better for formation here. So May the 15th is hurricane season starting day for this area of the world. There are two systems going on into and around this particular area. The first one just south of Mexico. This one is number 2. This is just formed, 30% chance of developing in the next couple of days. Farther out into the Pacific, another system which again is showing a lot more promise. This one will be seeing a 70% chance of development, and both of these moving away from the Americas. So this is not going to be a threat for us at this time. Now we also again have some very conducive conditions out there. Anything above 80 degrees on this map is going to aid tropical storm development. And where you see the very warm, darker red, darker orange colors, that is temperatures approaching the mid-80s and eventually could be around 90 degrees. If a storm crosses that and all the tumblers fall into place, that could really cause problems by giving that storm a exacerbated boost, and that could really send that storm from a minimal tropical storm to a maximum Category 5 hurricane. It's possible. It's happened before. Otis in the Pacific about last season or the season before that, that one went from a tropical storm to a Category 5 hurricane in less than 24 hours. That's how powerful these ocean water temperatures are. Now there's also, again, it's not a guarantee, but we are seeing, again, some development of a possible what's called a super El Nino taking place. It's not a guarantee yet, but now that we're in June, we'll see a better potential of understanding what's going on and if this is truly going to be an El Nino of an epic proportion that hasn't been experienced since, say, 1982. So this right here, the warm waters here, again coming off the ocean surface, the rising of the waters causes air to collapse around that big dome of rising air, which means air rising here will be collapsing over here. So that means there's less of a chance of an active hurricane season with this sitting over here in the Pacific. But that does mean a possible, maybe, very active season in the eastern Pacific. The good news is the trade winds and the Coriolis force spin those storms farther away from us. Occasionally one or two can come up this direction, maybe even more than that, and that needs to be watched as well. If you're heading toward the west coast of Mexico, the southwest United States, Central America, anything like that is a possibility. And those storms, if they survive, can go over the Central America, Mexico area and make their way back out into the Gulf, or vice versa, depending on if the conditions are right. So we'll be watching that with a lot of interest. Now, in the next, say, 72 hours, there is still signs of something developing toward the southwestern Gulf, the Bay of Campeche, and then that chance really begins to dry up, at least for now. But there's always the possibility that things could really begin to pick up at any point in time, which is why it's important to be weather aware and to pay attention to what's going on with the forecast. We will definitely be doing that out there, so definitely want to keep it tuned to News 12 for more on that. And again, please be weather aware no matter the situation. You don't want to be driving into an area that might be affected by anything involving a major storm system. heading your direction. All right, do a little extracurricular here for a second. Thanks to everybody for voting in our Pick the Pick contest. We take all of last week's pictures and we put them up so that you can see them and you can vote on them. Had a tie for last place and a clear winner. Anthony Wheeler, your picture of what you titled Happy Azaleas, that took 41% of the vote. So congratulations, Mr. Anthony from Chattanooga, for taking the top prize in our Pick the Pick contest that we run over the weekend. We'll have a new poll coming up at midnight. Use the QR code, or again, go to our website at WDEF.com/vote now if you'd like to vote in some of our other polls that are available there. So thanks to everybody for tuning in on that. And again, new poll will be going up, coming up at midnight. All right, what else do we have? Okay, breakfast tomorrow. Not really too much to worry about. Again, maybe a stray shower left over, but otherwise not really too much to see there. Chip's got your complete forecast coming up on the morning show, so definitely want to stay tuned for that. He'll get you going in the morning to let you know more about what is coming our direction, if anything, and time saver traffic, and Amelia Greer with the news. All kinds of neat and interesting stuff there. All right, we've been on for, how are we doing here for tonight? Always need to see just how much stuff I can blather on about. Doing pretty good, about 20 minutes, so that's not too bad for tonight, especially for Monday. So again, not too shabby for right now. That should do it for Weather Overtime for tonight. Again, thanks to everybody for tuning in. If you have any other questions, my email address in the blue bar down below at aonek@wdef.com, or you can get in contact with anybody here at News 12 through our website, wdef.com. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned to News 12 for more information coming up tonight on News 12 at 11, and also again on our website, wdef.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more for you coming up on Tuesday. Stay tuned for much more with News 12 on air and online. And again, thanks for joining us for Epicos Comics, Cards, and Games sponsored Weather Overtime for Monday, the